Credit memos and delayed credits are a huge lifesaver when it comes to discounts, giveaways, refunds, and returns. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. Credit memos reduce the total amount owed by a customer. If we were to take an example, then let's say Darth Vader purchases 10 lightsabers from your business. First, I'll create an invoice. I'll go to New, select Invoice, select the customer, select the product that the customer bought, enter the quantity, input the message for the invoice and the message that should appear on the customer statement. I'm going to make this transaction non-taxable for the purposes of this video and then click on Save and Close. If I head over to the customer account, Lord Darth Vader owes us $1,000 which is due in 30 days. Let us take this example further. Let's say 10 days later, Darth Vader comes back and returns 4 of the lightsabers, and instead of a refund, you decide to give him a credit memo. To create this credit memo, you can go to New and then select Credit Memo. Choose the customer. Select the product if you are offering a credit memo against a product. In this case, I'll select lightsaber. I'll enter the quantity so that I can easily calculate the total amount for the credit. I'm again going to make it non-taxable and then click on Save and Close. As soon as I record this transaction and head back to the customer account, I'll reload it. I can see that the customer's balance has reduced by the amount for the credit memo. And that is because credit memos by default are posting transactions. As soon as you record them, they change the balance of the accounts. Another important point, QuickBooks automatically applies credit memos to any open invoice for the customer. And if there's no open invoice available, then when you create a new invoice for the customer, the credit memo will be applied on it. However, if you don't want credit memos to be applied by default, you can change that setting by heading over to the gear icon and selecting Account and Settings. Go to Advanced, select the pencil icon in the Automation section. I'll disable the option to automatically apply credits and then save. Then select Done. If you don't click on Save, the changes won't be applied and credit memos will still be automatically applied on any of the open invoices. As I have disabled this option, I can now create a credit memo. Let's just head back and create a new credit memo. I'll create it for the same customer. And the same product. And this time I'll leave the quantity to 1 and then I'll save and close. The customer balance updates automatically once again, but this time the status of the credit memo is unapplied. Now I have to apply the credit memo manually because I have disabled the application from automatically applying the credit memo. To apply this credit memo, when I go to the new option and select receive payment and then select the customer as well as the invoice, I have the option to apply the credit memo manually. I can also not apply it for this payment and apply it for a future payment for this customer. But for now, I am manually applying the credit memo and I'll save and close it. In the customer account now, I can see that the credit memo has been applied. The invoice is partially paid and there's still $500 due. But instead of changing the settings and disabling automatic credit memos, I have a better option when it comes to dealing with delayed credits. And the option is delayed credits, of course, because delayed credits are non-posting transactions. When you record it, they do not affect the balance of any of the accounts or customers in your company file. Until and unless you applied the delayed credit on an invoice, accounts in your company file and customer account balance aren't affected. So this gives you the option and flexibility to apply the credit on a later date or whenever the customer asks you to. This can be a really good way to give discounts, referral rewards, as well as giveaways to your customers. To create a delayed credit, I'll go to the new option and select delayed credit. I'll select the customer for whom I'm creating this sales form. I'll select the product that I'm creating this for and the quantity of the product. I'll again make it non-taxable and in the memo I'll say it's a delayed credit for customer loyalty and I'll save this delayed credit for this customer. If I go to the customer account, the customer still owes 500 bucks even though I recorded the delayed credit. If I had recorded a credit memo, then the customer balance would have decreased by 200 bucks. When the customer comes to purchase the item from me next time, I can apply this delayed credit on the invoice. And for that, I'll have to create a new invoice, select the customer, and add the delayed credit as a line item. I'll select add and I can see that this item has been added as a line item. The customer purchases two more lightsabers from my business. I enter the item, the delayed credit that I applied reduced the balance by that amount, and this time I'll be able to see that reflected in the customer balance. I can see that the delayed credit for this customer has been converted to an invoice. But if I'm running a sales or marketing campaign and I really want to give a discount to my loyal customers, or let's say to referral customers, in that case, I can use delayed credits to track the number of referrals a customer has given and give the credit on the basis of the number of referrals. For this, I'll have to create a new delayed credit and I'll choose the customer. But instead of product and service, what I'm going to do is add a new item. And this item is going to track the total amount of credits or discounts I'm giving to referral customers so that I can later see that I'm overall getting a profit out of this expense or not. I'll select a non-inventory item. I'll select the discount given account to track the total amount of discounts or credits that I have provided to these referral customers. For each referral, I'm going to give 100 bucks to the customer and then I'll click on save and close to save this item. Now I can use this item whenever I have to give a referral reward. I'll update the quantity as per the number of referrals that this customer has given. In this case, let's say it's 3. I'll then click on save and close. I've recorded the delayed credit and you can see that the delayed credit has been recorded. I'll have to edit it again because I accidentally made the item taxable, but I don't want that. I don't want to record a tax on it. And I have recorded the delayed credit for this customer. The status of the delayed credit is open, that is, I haven't applied it on an invoice yet. When I create a new invoice for this customer at this point, QuickBooks will show me that there's a delayed credit available and I have the option to add this delayed credit to either this transaction or maybe to any future transaction. This option wasn't available by default for credit memos, and this is why delayed credits are a really good option for recording customer discounts, giveaways, and referral rewards. I'll select add and QuickBooks will add this item as a line item in the invoice. So the amount for this invoice decreases by the amount for the delayed credit. I'll enter the item that the customer purchased. This time I'll leave it as taxable and the total invoice amount decreases by 200 bucks, and that is because of this referral rewards item that I applied on this invoice. I'll click on save and close. Even though the customer purchased 5 lightsabers, the customer only has to make the payment for 2 of them because I have given a $300 credit to this customer on this invoice. Using an item to track referral rewards or delayed credits will give you the option to later analyze your data to view what kind of a profit you are generating on offering discounts or rewards or giveaways to a customer. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content on QuickBooks.